Greetings, fellow tabletop gamers. I'm Joseph, and yes, RotS and the team behind it are still very much alive and kicking. The reason for the long silence was simple. We were finishing the game and didn't want to bother anyone with an unfinished product. We announced that something was in the making, and that was enough. But that was then, and this is now. Today, it is with great pleasure that I announce that all the game mechanics and rules of RotS are finished and that the game is in a playable state. Along the way, there have been some changes that I would like to further discuss in this video. As you might have guessed already by the background, the name of the game has changed. Realms of the Shattered is now Rise of the Sovereignless. The former was a working project name, and although it grew on me and especially some members of the RotS team, once the game was relatively complete, I felt compelled to change it into something more fitting of our current in-house campaign. Certain mechanics of the game have changed alongside the game's name. The core ideas are all there and remain unchanged. RotS is still a medieval fantasy tabletop RPG with a strong emphasis on realistic and ruthless combat. The hit points of characters remain single-digit numbers that do not go up with gain levels. Survivability is still primarily determined by one's abilities and worn equipment. What has changed is the way that some of our combat mechanics interact with each other. We will release another combat video in which we will showcase these changes, so for now, I will not go into too much details about them in this video. Know simply that while completing the game, we came up with simpler and more effective ways of handling certain combat aspects, which have even further increased the pace of combat and its realism. Lastly, it is with great pride that I can say that our character sheet has been completely reworked and is now more beautiful than ever. The changes on it have been so extensive that the character sheet will be getting its own dedicated video with detailed explanations on how to use it. Okay, those have been the changes. Now we will discuss the completed segments of the game. All of our tokens have been finalized. Wound tokens, hit point tokens, condition tokens, sanity point tokens, destiny tokens, you name it, it's finished. Tokens are one of the main reasons why RotS has an increased pace of combat where there isn't any bookkeeping and why the wear and tear of our character sheets is reduced to a minimum. Our consumable item cards are also completed. These extraordinary looking cards ease the tracking of items held in a belt with pouches. This is an important segment of RotS, as adventurers may only consume those items and not others held in a backpack during combat. Monster Scrolls, a segment primarily used in the bestiary which contains monster statistics, is also finished. These scrolls can also be used for companions as well, which you will have a chance of seeing in the new combat video. And finally, the cover page for our player's guidebook is completed. This cover page will also be shared with the Kickstart or demo edition of the book. But more importantly, the Kickstart book is in its final stages before being publicly released. It's actually being proofread at this moment, and the last remaining 2 images are being drawn for it. When this is finished, we will finally have something tangible to offer to anyone eager to test our game. So there you have it, the current state of the game. As you can see, a lot of it is finished already, so this begs the question, what's next? Our primary focus now is on releasing the Kickstart book. This will give anyone interested a glimpse of what our game has to offer. Further YouTube videos will be released that will cover in greater detail certain aspects and mechanics of the game. Our team will also focus on reaching out to as many people as possible in hopes of marketing the game. All of this will lead into a Kickstarter campaign where we hope to raise enough funds to pay our artists to illustrate the missing images in our Player's Guidebook and Bestiary, the two core books of RotS. If you want to help the team or simply wish to know more of our game, please feel free to join our official Discord. The link will be down in the description. And because Emmerich would kill me if I did not finish with these, the obligatory like and subscribe. Until we meet again, Godspeed, adventurers.